fishing friends, how you doing? Forrest Outdoors here. And as you can tell behind me, I don't have a boat. My wife's car is sitting here. My boat's coming in soon. Therefore, I gotta get ready. It's winter time, it's cold. This is a great opportunity to change out your lines and your reels, clean them out, and get them prepped up for next season. Right now, I'm working on my spinning rods. This is a Johnny Moore Signature Series rod with a Bass Pro Carbon Light reel, and I'm getting ready to change out the line. Over the last 4 years, this has become a mainstay in my boat. Most people start with these rods and graduate up. Other people try to stay away from them, but at some point in time, they have to use them. Bite gets tough, it gets cold, something happens and they gotta bust out the fairy wand or the magic stick, or whatever you wanna call it. But I'm getting ready to do some winter fishing, so therefore I've gotta get my spinning rod set up for the year. Over the last 4 years that I've been heavily using these rods and reels, I've had some challenges with line, but I've been able to work out every challenge. And the most challenge that I've had is spinning up new line on these rods. Everybody does it, it happens to everyone, and that's getting the backlashes or the twists from improperly setting up these reels and putting on new line. I've had people tell me to flip the bail, reel in the line upside down or backwards, or invert the rod, or all types of crazy ideas. Some of them work, some of them haven't. But I've come up with 3 techniques that have tremendously helped me out on the water, preventing any type of line twists or backlash. Not to say it's not gonna happen, it will. Anything can happen out on the water. But these are the 3 things that I do to prevent any type of line twist on my rod. So once I removed all the line off my reel, I string up the new line. For this instance, I'm going to be using 6-pound XL Bass Pro monofilament. Monofilament all around has been the best for me. I know it's not the most applicable line that most people use, but this is what's best for me. It's the cheapest, it's the most effective. It does have a little more buoyancy or flotation to it. That's okay. It does have a little bit more stretch. That is okay for me. This line is 1,500 yards, and it's about $10 for this whole spool. So I can spool up a lot of reels with this one spool line. So what I do is I'll take it, I'll spin it onto the spinning combo, and I'll lay the spool on the ground, and I will lay it face down. So this sticker that you see here, I lay it face down on the ground like so. I take my hand over the bait cast or the spin cast reel, and I pinch the line and I start reeling. Yes, I know I'm gonna get line twist doing this. I'm not gonna flip the bail. I am going to wind this rod until it is full of line. And I'll continue to do so until it's done. Spool it up, get it on, great. You've got line on your spool, that is step 1. The next 4 steps, 3 steps, 4, is what I do to try to prevent these line twists from happening. The first one is to take your spool off of the reel and put it into lukewarm water. You put it into lukewarm water, and it transitions the spool and creates a new memory to it. It relieves those line twists and it relieves that spool. I have seen it work. It has worked for me, and it is the easiest application for me to do. The second one is to actually take your line when you're out on the water. In most cases, people don't want to do that because they want to spend their time fishing. So what I'll do is I'll go out in the yard and I will let as much line out as I can. I will back off maybe 100 yards on the other side of grass, make sure I'm in grass because I don't want to create nicks in the line. I will unwind as much of that spool that I can, and I will reel it back in. Same way that I put it on from the spool, I will put my finger on it, I will pinch it, and I will reel it in. This helps untwist that line. It puts that curve or the twist of the line towards the end. So as that line gets reeled in, that line has the ability to unwind itself and untwist. Step number 3, it's very similar to step number 2. I basically put on a swivel and the swivel can be as big or as little as you want it. I tie it to the end of my line, and then I take that swivel and I put it on something, whether it be the back of my tailgate, the front of my mailbox. Get creative on where you go with it. I simply then walk my line as far as I can go to try to keep that line taut. The reason I keep that line taut is when you see here, I'm actually over concrete. So I really don't want that line touching the ground because it's gonna get nicks, dings, and scratches in it, which is gonna degrade the quality of that line and probably have more break-offs. So I try to keep that line elevated off the ground and I back up as far as I can. Once again, I take my fingers, I pinch it, and I reel it in. And what that swivel does, just like when you're out in the grass, it allows that line to untwist as you're reeling it all the way in. The last piece that I do is basically you start from the beginning, you put your spool on the ground, you string up your line, and every 25 to 50 yards, you flip the bail. You flip the bail, you flip the bail, you flip the bail. So those are the four things that I do to try to prevent line twists on my spinning reel, and they have worked for me. Stretching it out on the water or on the concrete with the swivel, or even the hot water treatment has worked very well for me. So with that said, if you guys have recommendations, suggestions, or ideas on how to improve my process on putting spinning line on my reel, comment below. Send me a message. I think I figured out the magic secret, but maybe there's a better way. Maybe something that you guys are doing that I don't know about can make me better fishermen. Comment below, subscribe. You guys, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more because 2018 is going to be a fun season. Take care.